Okay then guys, what is going on? Cloud Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we are going to be looking at the latest patch. As now we've had a bit of time inside of it, I've definitely got an opinion or two. We streamed last night here on the channel and actually had quite a large discussion about the impacts that the update had, positive and negative, and there were most definitely both. So we're going to be breaking it down for you guys and giving you our thoughts, and also posting this towards PCF and Square Enix in a hope that they will be able to take and pick parts of this out. With that being said, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's jump into the new patch. Okay, so starting off, the changes to Outriders, and probably the biggest part of this patch for most players. They have added an extra guaranteed Apocalypse Legendary RNG drop to the following Trove areas, such as the Cliffside Path, the Daughter's Sanctuary, and the Arboretum. Now, these places are actually really enjoyable to utilize. We've had a lot of fun inside of them. We've done extra large runs going through all of the rooms last night live on stream. By the record, if you want to get involved with those, make sure you've got the subscription button hit and you've got the post notifications turned on so you don't miss any stream from myself. But going into these, we had a bit of an open mind. The loot drop system is a bit skeptical to say the least, and we're finding actually that we're having a bit more of an issue with it now than we ever have. As far as the loot that you actually obtain by these, non-apocalyptic gear is dropping so frequently now, that's in epic status and legendary status, that it's just becoming a pure delete rate. What I have found is this actually elaborates and completely takes out the opportunity to be able to farm for such pieces of gear for your build so damn easily. This is essentially going to cause a bit of an issue, mainly because actually farming for a role was already hard enough, but now farming for a role is going to be 10 times harder. Just because about the amount of loot that you get now, we've now got around a 30% on that not being apocalyptic, which means just a lot of materials. So for me, I do feel like once you get to a certain APOC level, we shouldn't really be getting those standard variant drops anymore. I just feel like it's just pointless. Although it is useful for the materials and that's pretty much about it, we could still get that from APOC gear as an overall. The actual third mod slot inside of APOC gear has made and completely eradicated the usage for normal gear altogether. So as to why it's even still there, I really don't know. Now, although the guaranteed Apocalypse Legendary RNG drops are actually specified to what the specific loot farming method is, so say we go to a specific room and it has a specific piece of gear, such as, let's say, the Arboretum, which actually has a primary loot drop for gloves. This is genuinely working a lot better. I find that the gloves that drop from there are primarily gloves. The loot is genuinely pretty damn good in that regard, although because of the amount of random roll situations that we've got with the amount of mods that we've got, it is leading to a bit of a conundrum with being able to get the roll that you want. But again, that's just looter shooter RNG. So far what we've actually figured out is the specific loot rolls are pretty good, and the overall aspect of what we're getting is pretty bad. It's kind of a backhanded compliment in some regard. They fixed some bits and just not fixed others. When we're talking about specific loot, the end boss, the Arbiter, right at the end of the Outriders in the Father's Sanctum, is obviously had a bit of a nerf, allegedly, on the helmet drop. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my stash is still absolutely obliterated by helmets. So for me, what I'm feeling is they haven't turned down the helmet drop in Father's Sanctum enough, but they've over-induced on the APOC level gear dropping throughout the rest of the game. So is that a positive or is it a negative? It's kind of like a 50-50 split, and for me it's enjoyable and non-enjoyable at the same time, as I'm now dismantling more than I ever have, especially when it comes to the legendary gear. I know that we're now obtaining a lot more of it, with it being around minimum of 9 per full run instead of a minimum of 6 per full run, but that is kind of like a counterproduction when 3 or 4 of those are going to be guaranteed to not be APOC level gear, and that's at a damn minimum. We did a run last night where I had 9 non-APOC leveled legendary gear that I just had to dismantle straight off the bat. Now, at the level that I'm at, which although is not really high, but is Apocalypse tier 28, Ascension level 54, if it's not apocalyptic gear, I'm not going to be using it. That's just a full-blown fact. So please let me know your opinions on that one down in the comment section below, and we can get a little bit more of a discussion on that. As far as the Technomancer goes, nothing but positive news for the Technomancer, with the Torrential Downpour, the Grim Inventors, and the Plague Sours sets all having a load of their attributes completely switched up, with skill life leeches being changed to status power, cooldown reductions changed to slow status power, and close range damage changed to long range damage. It's all a positive for the Techno. For me, I don't see any issues with it, and I actually see that I might be able to utilize this for some new builds in the near distant future. It's a pretty good move overall. And the bug fixes, well, the bug fixes are the bug fixes. Apparently, the whole movement with the insta-kill by their Tribute and Umbral clone is one thing, and I've heard nothing but, again, positive news, I guess, for that. Although if you liked to abuse that bug, then it's nothing but negative news. Anything that is a bug fix, I am 100% for, and getting the quality of life changes inside of the game is always going to be a positive in my books. Although when it starts coming to the loot drops and we start to dabble around with what it is that we're obtaining versus the time spent inside of the game, I don't really agree with that all that heavily. It has been a little bit frustrating, to say the least, over the last 24 hours, as we've been quite heavily into the loot aspect of things more than the XP style of things, which again is not like me at all. I'm on that level grind and my build is actually pretty strong, but now there are some epic gear that we do need, and what I am slowly finding is that actually, because of the random roll situation and the way that this loot drop is now dropping, it's made it borderline bloody impossible for me to get the final set of gauntlets, the final set of boots with the attributes that I want, the mods that I want. And I know this is going to be a bit of a grind, and I'm pretty sure that that's how it's supposed to be with regards to RNG aspects inside our looter shooters, but I do feel like it is a little bit extreme considering we're still getting random normal rolled pieces of gear. Don't get me twisted, I am really enjoying the game at the moment, and there is so much going on inside of this game, and it's really exciting, but we'll have to see what the patch brings for later on this month, whereas at the end of the month we know that we have got a very large patch update that's going to be coming and changing quite a few things inside of the game. Hopefully these are more positives, although right now the loot system is being a little bit knackered up and it's not everything that we kind of wanted it to be. But in regards of Outriders patch updates, I would say over the past year this is probably one of the better ones for a small patch, and has caused very little breakages inside of the game, which is not something I could really give PCF and Square Enix for this time last year. It's an exciting time for Outriders, with a whole massive community that's been imploded into the game, and if you guys want to join that, we are currently trying to go for the largest Outriders LFG Discord in the world. So make sure you go down into the description and go and join the Discord server. We've got so much going on there right now that I know you guys are going to enjoy it, with loads of people helping with carries and loads of people looking for friends to play with. Now, that's all we've got time for today, and unfortunately it is a little bit of a dampener video, which we aren't really doing many off at the minute, and it's kind of nice to say that. But hopefully you have enjoyed it, and if you have, then make sure you smash the beautiful blue thumbs up, subscribe, post notifications turned on, and hit a comment in the comment section below so we can get some discussions going. Thank you so much again for watching, guys. Appreciate your faces, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.